The focus should be, who the hell was it in the White House and who the hell was it within our government that knew Biden was debilitated to that degree and did nothing and said nothing and was pushing for 4 more years? I'm not one of those people, Chris, that felt like once Biden announced, guess what? He should leave office immediately, that he was so gone, so incapacitated, he didn't have all his faculties and all. I don't believe that for 1 second. What I'm saying is, if you knew he was debilitated, what I'm looking at was y'all in the state capitol chanting 4 more years when he was giving his State of the Union address. I'm looking at you pushing him to be in office from the time he was 82 until he was going to be 86 years old. I'm looking at you pushing for him to be in office in 2024. What are you trying to say? What you were really, really hoping is that the man wins the election and then whatever happens to him, and Kamala Harris could be in as the president. Oh, well, if that's what you were wishing, what you're saying is you didn't have faith that she could run on her own and win a primary like she couldn't do in 2020. Yeah. And so if that's the reality, you're basically guilty of everything you've accused the Republicans of doing, which means I don't want to hear a damn thing they have to say, because that's inexcusable. If you're going to be up and try to stand on some moral high ground, then have morals, have principles, because that's what you say in the other side will act, but you didn't do it yourself. I want to know who the hell knew. I want to know how much they knew. If they were an elected official, if they were a part of the administration, I think they should be banned from public office for life.
I like it. Won't happen, but I like it. It would be a good message. It would be a good message to send.
It almost looks and sounds a lot like Stephen A. Smith's beginning ascent to his political career. That is, if I think it's Disney he's under contract with, allows him the opportunity to take a brief pause from his $100 million contract deal to get into the political realm. Was this massive contract a way to help propel Stephen A. Smith into this role, perhaps maybe the second Black U.S. president in American history? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and let me know if you'd like to save money on Medicare. Our partner chapter offers free Medicare help and free Medicare consultations. The number's on the screen, 270-467-2426. And I've heard from so many people here leaving comments on videos, sending me direct messages, emailing me and telling me, Kevin, thank you so much. I called chapter and they were so helpful, so polite. And I've been able to, even in instances, save up to $1,400, money going back into their Social Security. So I'll leave the information in the description and pinned comment down below. Give chapter a call and just ask them a very simple and easy question. Can you help me save money on Medicare? Can you help me choose the best plan for me? 270-467-2426, or visit their website at www.askchapter.org/Kevin, Kevin, or just dial the number on the screen, 270-467-2426. Senator Elizabeth Warren sides with Trump's call to eliminate debt limit, quote, should be scrapped. Let's pass a bipartisan bill and get rid of it forever, Warren said. And it's ironic. Thank you, Sarah, for sending this email over. But more and more Democrats are siding with Trump, whether they are explicitly stating it, like in this instance with Elizabeth Warren here, or not. Stephen A. Smith says that the Democrats are doing exactly what the Republicans did with Biden, for instance. But stay tuned, because I've got one more clip that I want to share and show you of another Democrat essentially saying and admitting Donald Trump is right and we need to be more like Donald Trump, or Democrats need to be more like Donald Trump. I'm not a Democrat, so I'm just putting that out there. You'll never guess who it is, or maybe you would. It's a toss-up. It's a 50-50. Go ahead in the comment section. Let me know if you can guess who you think it is. One of the possible future faces of the Democratic Party as leadership role, admitting to wanting to model their political campaign and maybe presidential run after the GOAT, Senator Elizabeth Warren, said on Friday she agrees with Donald Trump's call to eliminate the debt limit, urging bipartisan action to scrap it permanently. In a post on X, Warren wrote, "At Real Donald Trump and I agree, the debt limit should be scrapped to prevent an economic catastrophe. Let's pass a bipartisan bill and get rid of it forever," she added. Pocahontas also said jacking up the debt limit by $4 trillion to fund more tax breaks for billionaires is an outrage and an attack on a GOP-backed tax bill to enact Trump's priorities. Warren's post cited comments Trump made during a news conference earlier on Friday when he referenced her past support for eliminating the debt limit and said he always agreed with her on the issue. She wanted to see it terminated, gotten rid of, not being voted on every 5 years or 10 years, and the reason was because it's so catastrophic for our country. The debt limit was last suspended by Congress in the summer of 2023 as part of a bipartisan bill reached between Republican leadership and former President Joe Biden, pushing off the threat of national default through January of this year, when the debt limit was reinstated at more than $36 trillion. The Treasury Department said in January that the government would need to implement extraordinary measures to prevent it from defaulting on its debt. Earlier this month, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent called on Congress to raise the debt ceiling by mid-July to prevent the government from defaulting, warning that the country is on track to run out of money to pay its bills as early as August without congressional action. A failure to suspend or increase the debt limit would wreak havoc on our financial system and diminish America's security and global leadership position, Bessent wrote to House Speaker Mike Johnson. And prior episodes have shown that waiting until the last minute to suspend or increase the debt limit can have serious adverse consequences for financial markets, businesses, and the federal government. Republicans want to raise the debt ceiling as part of a broader package, but intra-party debate remains over issues such as tax changes. And like I said, it's not just Stephen A. Smith admitting that the Democrats are becoming more like Republicans. It's not just Elizabeth Warren admitting that she agrees with Republican President Donald J. Trump. It's also, ironically, Jasmine Crockett, seen here, who announces that Democrats' playbook to win in 2026 hinges on education. Ironically, essentially what Jasmine Crockett is saying here, and you guys chime in, correct me if I'm wrong on my evaluation and how I ascertain this dialogue and this conversation on this brief interview here, is that Jasmine Crockett is telling Fox News as she sits here, trying to sound and appear more of an intellect or much more educated than she actually is. The ratchet ghetto queen herself is basically saying that in order to win, the Democrats' playbook needs to model after Donald Trump's playbook. She's saying that the Democrats need to do everything that Donald Trump did to win. Explain to me the logic behind this from the standpoint of fighting President Trump and Republicans and the GOP tooth and nail, and then sitting here and saying that in order for the Democrats to win, they need to do everything that Donald Trump, Republicans, and the GOP did to win. Yeah.
What is the Democrat playbook for the midterms? Is it blaming Trump, or is it talking about kitchen table issues?
You act like I got the playbook. Listen, I mean, the winning playbook, I think overall is just communication and education. I think that you can talk about kitchen table issues all you want to, but it comes down to actually having a rapport and making sure that people actually understand what it is that you're talking about. I don't think that we failed to talk about kitchen table issues, but basically Trump was simple and lied, right? Like he said, hey, the price of eggs are high, I'm gonna reduce it on day one. It was a very simple message. It was a lie.
We're going down now.
I mean, after they went up through the roof, like, let's be clear. And honestly, they may be down for the second, but again, having people be educated about what it is that the FDA does, and talking about things such as the bird flu, and talking about if you have less birds because they are sick, then that's less eggs, but the demand is still the same, then the price goes up. Like, we have to make sure we do education. One of the other issues that I think that we had is that people didn't understand that the global pandemic was the cause of our inflation. They were like, oh, everything's high, and they just said, well, that's the person that's in office, instead of actually having this global conversation. Or one of the things that he was honest about is that he actually was going to institute tariffs. The problem was people didn't understand exactly what a tariff was, because he was able to say, you know what, and it's going to be those foreign countries that pay for the tariffs. So everybody's like, all right, cool. Like, but that's not the case. And so I think that our win is in the education. I think it is why I place an emphasis on making sure that we can do things such as our teletown halls, why I place an emphasis on coming in and having an actual dialogue with my seniors, because I do want to make sure that they understand what's going on, and I want to break it down into the simplest terms that I can, because some of this can be really, really complicated. But I think our win is in our education and our constant communication.